But even with that being said, I think the other side of things at times, because we're going to later on go into sometimes the eliteness that may come with well, the eliteness that seems to come with being married. I literally saw a video the other day where one girl was like, you people that are married, you're not doing anything for us. Nothing for social media.
I saw it.
Especially those Christians that are married.
You're doing nothing for us.
She said like, what did she say? Like, at least like, when have you ever preached Christ? Something like that.
Yeah.
She's saying you're not helping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hear it, to be honest. There's a lot of, Christian married. There's a lot of Christian married podcasts that maybe can sort of push marriage in your face. That's in a way of like,
you think that's the only goal in life.
That's the only goal in life. We're better, sort of thing, but it's not. Yeah. I think on the other side, there is a benefit that single people. It sounds so funny saying single people. I'm like, what's the best way to say that?
They're just single people. Like they're just single people who love. If you're a Christian, you love the Lord, and yeah.
Okay, there's a benefit that I just have to say.
What's the benefit of being single?
No, there's a benefit that those who are single bring to your life. That's what I feel.
Okay.
100. Like, I think there's this thought around like, because you guys aren't in our space, or you're not in a relationship, or I don't know, you're not with someone. You can't understand. You don't
get it.
Yeah, naturally there'll be things that there'll be a cap on it. Naturally,
yeah.
But there's still of benefit. How for me, I feel like. I can't even say these examples. I feel like my single friends have corrected me, have convicted.
Yeah.
You're so proud of yourself.
That was a good idea.
They've corrected me. They've convicted me. I feel like they help you. I don't know how to say this yet, but it's helping you remind yourself who you are as an individual, because you can be so in your bubble that it's like you're all about your family and you
forget that you have your own identity in some way. And
it doesn't mean that single people don't have a wisdom to them.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you have more experiences in life,
you will naturally have.
You get it. That's legit where it is. Obviously, as we all get older, we're gonna, by the grace of God, grow in wisdom. But yeah, I feel like there is a benefit and a joy that they bring to your life. And the way I'm saying it is making me laugh.
The joy is like we don't have. Not real things to care about. But like, I always think about just leaving my house. I can just leave my house.
Yeah.
I know, because I know.
You don't need to tell no one. Go about your way.
I just go about my way. But then it's like, sometimes like, hey, that's what you do. And it's like, it's like, yes, and sometimes you can still drink it. It's like, just having those friends that kind of just, let's go. And just reminds you
of fun.
Let's have fun. And I think
and that's just say you don't have fun. You have fun with your spouse. You know what I mean?
Different.
It's just
a different type of.
It's just different.
It's different.
But I feel like sometimes I've seen a trend, of people getting married. Especially, we're only talking about girls, because men don't do this. Honestly, men just be
women.
Men just be living their life, bro.
Just what's it called? The world.
I'm gonna whatever. I can't say. But yeah, they just be living their life. But I've seen a trend of married women getting married, and then either intentionally or unintentionally, I don't know, cutting off their single female friends
from their what? Oh, just in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's a thing where they message them, you are no longer in my life because I'm married.
Loser.
You know what I mean? Loser. That's crazy. But it's more so like and sometimes I understand it. Like, obviously, I'm thinking back to maybe my first year in marriage or whatever. Like, sometimes, you're flocking more to certain people because you want advice.
Yeah, which is not bad.
You know what I mean? Which isn't bad.
It's good.
And sometimes, because you're navigating a new space, you just need a second.
Yeah.
It will plateau in a sec. Like, you'll find your way in a sec, but sometimes you maybe just need a second, and your single friends might just need to hold off for a minute. I don't know. Why look at me like that?
I don't know. I mean, I hear it, but it's like, what am I holding off on? Like,
because it's like, in my mind, I can only think like, I've moved into a new house, a new space. I'm with this person 24 hours. Okay, I need to figure out what that looks like. Like, you might be butting heads on like where you want to put the eggs or something. Like, it's just like, and me and George were talking about in the last pod, it's like, because this person becomes your world in some ways, they even how things go in the day might affect you. You know what I mean? And your mood in that day, and Paul says it at the end of the day. He says in 1 Corinthians 7 in it that the married person, in essence, it says they're thinking about they say their cares are worldly in some sense because they're thinking about their spouse. It's basically what it says.
And that's why you encourage us to Well,
that's why it says it's better to stay single. Look, I'm married. I feel like every time I say this, it's like, oh, you're not happy. I love my husband, but I also love the word of God, and I know logically what things are like. Obviously, both of them are gifts, and I wouldn't encourage. There's still a loneliness that comes with singleness later on when you don't have a partner or spouse. I'm not saying you're lonely. Come on, hold my hand, hold my hand. It's like, I'm not saying you're lonely, please. Oh, but what I'm trying to say is that, anyway, let's go back to the situation. So a lot of women do that.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to people who've experienced that.
Yeah.
I personally think it's sad. That's my
because I was going to ask, so is it that their single friend should just get it? And now you're like,
no.
Hey, how are you? I've come back. And it's like, okay, like, I understand you got married. And because I'm thinking, the way I'm seeing it is, okay, as a single friend, you're understanding that your friend has gotten married, and you naturally give them some 100. Space. But it gets to a point where it's like your existence almost doesn't matter no more.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, your existence is not convenient right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you need to remember as well, those who are getting married, your single friends are still going through things, and they still need their friends. Like, it's not all of a sudden you're in your own world. But it's a hard thing to navigate.
It's hard, and the reason I say it's sad, even though I say that, I don't ignore all the things that come with that. At the end of the day, I'm married myself. I've made my mistakes. Yeah. So I'm making my mistakes. I still don't even know anything. But I'm not saying it's sad as if I'm looking down at those people. I'm saying it's sad. Maybe sometimes the things that we think we need to do, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes maybe it's because of how marriage is made to seem like in the Christian community. It's almost like the final boss.
Yeah.
Like you've reached the final stage. If you're married, boss.
Like, that's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love now.
The person knows your name.
You know what I mean? Which is nice.
Which is nice, but it's like...
Pastor knows the other people.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you actually, like, you hear stories where, like, in their church, they don't matter. If you're single, you don't matter.
Oh, that's a shame.
But I hope it's not your story.
I hope it's not. It's not our story.
It's not my story.
Yeah. But, like, that's so I say it's sad in that aspect because community transcends, marriage or whatever you're going through. You always need community. Whether they're single, whether they're divorced, whether they're
a single parent,
a widow, or what I mean. There's something that you can draw from everyone, and that's why I say that. Maybe sometimes it's just literally, obviously we've talked about communication. Maybe sometimes it's just saying, oh sis, I'm in a weird space right now. I'm in this new space. I don't really know how to navigate it. So just bear with me as I do. And I apologize for any mistakes that I make on the way. Obviously we're not all that conscious. I'm not that conscious.
I'm not that conscious.
You know what I mean? To be able to tell you that. But the only issue is that we take too long to get to the place where we're gonna have a conversation. We let all these like feelings and emotions build up. And that's why I feel like sometimes when you have these conversations, they don't come out of love. They don't come from a place of love. They just come from a place of like, I want to get this off my chest. By that time you're frustrated, isn't it?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's important to learn how to like address stuff. Not in the moment. I think obviously read the situation and like know, okay, is this the best time? But I think holding all that emotion, and now when it's time to let it out, it almost comes off like you're being a bit shady or being a bit. You know what?
Maybe that's how it comes off because of the time. But I think there's still love and care within it. At the heart of it, we care deeply.
Yeah, that's why we're confronting. That's why we're going to conversation.
And then you're upset because maybe you feel like that person hasn't seen it or they've cut you off or whatever. By that point, it comes out across as anger and annoyance because now I'm tired. You haven't seen me this whole time. You know what I mean? But I think it's also the closeness of female friends. Like in the podcast, it was saying that females do friendships like sisters. That was so involved. Whereas like, men do it to the degree of maybe a cousin. I'm sure there's men that have friends that are like brothers, but she's saying in a majority that's usually what it's like. And I feel like it's that closeness that causes that tension.
And like we feel things so deeply because we love our friends, our sisters so deeply. But
you know what? Sometimes it's a bit annoying being a girl. You know
what? I think about this sometimes, but I wouldn't have it any other way. That's the truth.
I also like it too, to be fair.
I'm just a girl.
But with that being said, obviously we've spoke about sort of like the eliteness that comes with it, and one of our audience members at the back with the fan said that that they're just navigating a different space of life and the single person doesn't understand. And that's why I say, like, obviously there's a level of you as a married person, you want to protect your marriage. Like you're not trying to uphold a perfect view, but you're trying to protect you know, what you guys
protect your marriages.
Yeah. Please. You know, we're not doing that here, actually. We're not doing that here.
Talk about
we're not doing that
protect your marriages, please.
There's a level of protecting your marriage. You know, you guys have had a disagreement, but that's between you two. If you want to seek counsel, but it's not something I'm going to be like, oh, Seth, you know what? This just happened. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. However, have I ever reached out to you for advice? Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm. It might not be directly to how do I do this as a wife, but it's more so how my thought process is and stuff like that. I remember when I was in a relationship, when I was dating Mike and I was coming to get married, and I remember I was so overwhelmed about something in my mind, and I spoke to my friend Ebony, but I didn't speak to her willingly. Like, she just maybe I thought that no one's gonna understand or whatever, and by that time I didn't have married friends or friends in the same space, so I didn't have anyone to reach out to. And I think she could just sense that something was wrong because I hadn't spoke to her for like a week. And she just messaged me, said, "Bro, what's going on?" And I said, "Look, I'm just so overwhelmed." She sent me this whole paragraph. I'm telling you, that day I got up. Oh, I actually got up because basically that whole week I had stayed in my bed. I was just too. Oh, my head was just doing me. And sometimes it's like when you give that a chance. And the thing is like we don't look at each other and say, "Oh, I'm married, you're single. You're single, I'm married." It's just, "Oh, you're Seth, I'm Ads." You know what I mean? And within that friendship, we have a level of vulnerability and sisterhood that you may not understand certain topics, but we might still talk and break it down. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a level where when you're opening and sharing your life with one another, you're not going to, you don't have to think too tough that, you know, but you know what? I remember in my first year of marriage, though, it was still a struggle. To be honest, I mean, I didn't have much married friends. I didn't have any really. I mean, I had Sarah, but Sarah was, you know what I mean? Guys, we have a few audience members. So you know you gotta drop their names here and there. I had Sarah, but it's like she's advanced as well. So it's like, all those stuff. So it's understandable. And you know what? Honestly, it's just the weight of marriage sometimes.
Marriage is, from what I've heard, is not a joke. Honestly, I can only say from what I've heard, it's not a joke. And I think married people are doing well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
But with that being said, I think there's one thing that we can at least address. Obviously, we've talked about the eliteness sometimes that comes with it. And I think 1 Corinthians 7 says it beautifully at the end of the day. But it's more so to say on top of that, that though sometimes it might not be said directly, but though sometimes within the Christian community, there's almost this like medal that you get for being married or this eliteness. At the end of the day, that's not the prize. And I think that needs to be said more and more and more. And like,
well, online, churches,
everywhere, anywhere, where it's been saying that, oh, marriage is
also saying there's something greater to come.
Because I remember when I was younger thinking like, even though at the time I wasn't thinking about relationships, I was thinking, well, I would hate if Christ comes now and I didn't get married. Like,
when
I was younger, when I was in secondary school, that's what I'll be thinking, bro.
It's just say secondary school. Some of us are still thinking.
She said some of us are still thinking.
No, but like, it's like you thinking like, raw.
But it's to say, at the end of it, what we should be chasing after, what we should be looking for is Jesus, is Christ. You know what I mean? He is the end goal. He is our full satisfaction. And I feel like we can't say this without drumming that home. And sometimes when I say things, you know, I can understand why people are scared to say some things, because you'll think that they're unhappy or something when people say stuff
about, like, as in about marriage.
Like if you say the real rule.
One I always saying every time I consider marriage, I'm hearing you guys will say something. I'm like, oh, maybe do I really want to do this thing?
No, because we would legit talk, and I'll be like to Seth, let me marriage is long.
Marriage is long. Like, you guys be telling me, and I'm like,
and I'm saying, no, it's so beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful. Genuinely, it is a sanctifying tool. It has so much joy within it. But it's not hard. You know what I mean? And it's one of those ones where it's like if you choose to be single, I would say I understand.
I hear it.
The only thing I say you're forfeiting is the chance to try with someone, try and make something beautiful. Because I think that's it at the end of the day. I'll say that's what you're missing. However, other than that, you can go to the shop, you know what I mean? Get chicken and chips. No one's looking at you. I'm getting money today, dude. No one's filming you saying chicken and chips, girl. You know what I mean? But it's I say that to say only like that God is our satisfaction. Basically, that's all I say. And I say it also because marriage is such a like thing that people want to achieve.
Yeah.
I remember even having a conversation with one of my friends, and there was this there was this thing around where people were saying like they were doing their achievements for the year.
And they said they got married, being married is an achievement. I think I had a conversation with someone about this.
Is it? Yeah.
And that, but so what do you think about that? That's a bit.
You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't call marriage an achievement. However, there's some people who it is an achievement. I don't know.
I think that must be based on like personal. Like I wouldn't like you have a bingo board say get married. Is that
maybe like you had a whole thing where you didn't think it was possible.
Okay.
So God making it possible is an achievement. But for some people, it gets to a point where it is on their 2025 goals. You know what I mean?
Get married. I don't want to.
What do you think that's mad?
You do. It's something that's happened in your life. I guess why I see why one could call it an achievement. But like, I don't know. It's just I think maybe it's just the term achievement.
I think it's the term achievement. Me off. Like I think I wouldn't use that term.
So is being single not an achievement? Do you get? Because it's like true. Now as a single person, it's now a single person looking at a married person. It's like, wow, I haven't achieved this in life. Like,
yeah.
Do you get? So, but I don't know. I won't be on my 25 board.
I hear it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's, but you know what? Maybe that person's just being honest with themselves in that they really, really wanted it.
I know sometimes like. Before people actually get married, that maybe their dating issue was so
and they didn't think that's what I'm saying. It's like they didn't think it was gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, that
like,
makes
remember
sense.
when we're reading that person's caption, they're like, "Oh, 7 years of singleness." Meanwhile, you're 27, bro.
You're 27, bro.
Like what the?
Oh no! I hear you.
It's like, but for some people, it was a big deal.
Yeah,
maybe at the heart of it, they just didn't think that they can find someone that loves them. Like that, and therefore,
I think that's what it is.
I think it's more so rooted in that. However, if you think it's an achievement, look, we're not chopping you. I was we have nothing. We don't care. It's all right.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. No, it is like it is. Maybe I should design for it to be an achievement. Too.
We're very, very. No, I don't think. I think that's what's gonna change it. What those mustard seeds are.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. That just came out. That was even bad. I didn't mean.
No, that's crazy.
I didn't mean that.
It's all right. So you know what? Yeah, we thank God for growth.
Anyway, Paul says both of them are gifts from the Lord.
Yes, we thank God.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Actually, I want to ask a question.
Go on.
I was going to say, do you think married people are a bit delusional